welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
And today we're talking about 1978's The Young Cycle Girls.
I'd rather have sore feet than a sore ass.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I didn't say it, knocker. I don't know.
Spooky got no real rhythm.
Hello, Mr. Man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell does women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
For jacking off. Come on, just step on the gas before we get green. And more.
So it's one of those Mike and Bobby episodes.
Oh, another one of those, huh?
Strap in.
All right.
And thank you to our patron, Mike Ratcliffe, who gave us this movie, The Young Cycle Girls, also known as Cycle Vixens.
Better title.
Well, we'll get into that. This movie, never heard of it before.
Honestly, I hadn't either, so thank you, Mike.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to say thank you because I feel like I have sort of a manifesto I'm going to read at the end of this episode that I feel forever changed after watching this movie. Now, how could a simple movie, a sweet movie about a couple of girls just taking a ride to California in 1978 change my life forever?
I gotta tell you, listeners, Mike walked in here tonight, and he had a look that said, I've seen some shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have the 1,000-yard stare now.
Mike was easily 10 years older when I saw him tonight.
Look, I've seen it all, okay? And Cycle Girls, the Young Cycle Girls,
They managed to catch you.
Is the key. Now, they tried to edit this movie so that, okay, here's the thing. This movie is like the Ring tape. When you see it, you can never go back. Like you've seen Young Cycle Girls, your life is forever changed. You've been exposed to things that no human should be exposed to. But now you're here and you're still alive and you're just waiting. You're waiting for that one day that something is going to happen. And it will. It will, everybody. And the last thing you're going to hear on Earth is the theme song we open this episode to. Trust me, it's going to happen. Don't watch this movie. They tried to stop it, Bobby. They really did. You know how, like, I think in the one part in The Ring, they're like, maybe we could, like, re-edit the tape or something. Like, there's got to be in all the Ring movies, somebody's like, hey, why don't I re-edit that Ring tape, huh?
I love the series finale for The Ring, when the franchise
ended.
When someone just accidentally left the cursed tape in the back of a car. Went, oh, shit, this thing's ruined. And that was that. Sorry.
Or they were just like, hey, nobody has a VCR anymore.
They actually, have you seen, there was recently...
no, I wouldn't watch that garbage.
Okay. Hayako versus Tetsuko, I think is the name. I'm probably getting that wrong.
Okay.
Kayak versus Sudoku. And which is where they pinned it was a Japanese movie where they pinned the ghost from The Ring against the ghost from The Grudge.
Oh.
And they play it for comedy. They know they're making trash. Like, nobody cares about this for real. It's pretty fun, actually, and it deals with that. The fact that there's a cursed tape, but nobody has a VCR anymore.
I like that.
It's a fun one. Check it out. It's pretty good.
So what they tried to do was stop it. They tried to stop the Young Cycle Girls from making another generation of people who are infected by this movie. And what they did was they re-edited the movie and called it Cycle Vixens and got rid of all the sex and violence.
Oh.
So then it just became a movie about a couple girls riding their motorcycles.
Just watching people ride bikes.
Yep. And there are barely any people who've seen this movie, but it has a diehard, scary following on IMDb of people saying, don't watch the original. Watch the Young Cycle Girls, the original cut. Also, it will forever change your life. Multiple people say this, Bobby. Multiple people talk about how this movie is the key to everything. They're on to something. I'm telling you, man.
This is some Westworld shit?
This is like you listen to Coast to Coast and like one of those few ones you're like, oh shit, I'm on board for this one. Keep talking, dude.
Happens.
Keep talking.
When you're listening to a ton of conspiracy theories, then suddenly you're like, okay, that one makes sense.
Yeah, you're like, wait a second. You're telling me there's a fucking underground pyramid in Alaska? Yes, keep going.
So Elvis was murdered.
Okay. Tell me more. So the director of this movie, two directors. Okay, and
you need two to handle all this.
One of them makes more sense than the other, but I think something happened.
Okay.
So I only saw one credited director.
Right.
The credited director and also the writer is John Arnoldi, who this is the only thing he ever directed.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like that person. The only thing they ever directed was the Ring video. However, he did write the script for this movie, and he also has the story credit on 1977's Supervan. And he wrote 2 other movies you've never heard of. None of the 3 girls who were in this movie ever did anything again. Neither did anybody really in the movie. It's just, I'm telling you.
This is some Blair Witch shit.
Man, it's a reptilian type of conspiracy going on here, Bobby.
Oh, did the Illuminati get a hold of this?
Something's wrong with this movie. I'm telling you. There's something up with it.
The Young Lizard Girls?
Now, the other director, Peter Perry Jr., okay, known for directing some real sleaze, 13 credits, started his career with 1959's Revenge of the Virgins.
All right.
Now, what do you think that's about? I just want you to guess, because you're never going to guess the plot of this.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Virgins. That's about Gamergate.
In 1959,
Yeah.
the original Gamergate.
The
It was
original
like,
Gamergate.
backgammon
Tabletop
gate.
board games.
Yeah.
It's a Dungeons and Dragons group that had enough of these women not fucking them.
Yeah, no, it's apparently
Sorry,
about...
people play D&D. I got nothing against you guys.
It's apparently about when white settlers start to move in on their sacred grounds, a tribe of female Indians vow to do anything they can to stop them. What in the fuck?
As we know, all Native American female are virgins.
Are apparently virgins, yeah.
Yeah, immaculate conception all across.
Okay, this makes sense now. 1961, Honeymoon of Terror,
Ooh, great title.
which is about 2 people, I guess, get stranded on like an island, and then the husband leaves for a bit, and the lady gets attacked. Of course she does.
Naturally.
1963, love the name of this, don't know anything about it. It's called, oh, actually, wait, no, I do know what this one's about. 1963, it's called Knockers Up.
Which this show has gone many times.
Oh, yeah. It's about a man who takes an invisible potion and finds himself in all sorts of girly situations.
And everything goes knockers up.
Oh, yes, it does.
Man.
So then we got 1969's The Secret Sex Lives of Romeo and Juliet. Didn't know it was a secret, but apparently it was. 1970, The Notorious Cleopatra, as she goes around fucking everybody in Egypt.
Oh,
That's
man.
what we want to see, you know?
Yeah. Until the Sphinx's nose falls off.
There had to be, if they had it in the budget, where she, like, fucked on the Sphinx or something, right?
Well, it was up against the Sphinx. And
It was
that's
at the
why
Luxor.
the shaking of it
It was just at the Luxor in Vegas.
back then.
Yeah, back then, you know. It didn't exist, but
You guys
whatever.
didn't realize how long that's been there.
Yeah, long time. His last movie was 1980. It was called A Woman's Dream. There's no information about it. So, yes, that's right. This was his second to last movie. Now, I feel like a man who's directed sleaze for his entire life maybe pulled one over.
Oh, really?
Because as we get into this movie, I would say that this movie, as we go on, you're going to be like, how, guys? How is it so shocking? How on earth could this be? Oh, my fucking God.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, you sit and you watch it. It starts. You don't know where we're going. And then what would you say, about 40 minutes in? You like, again, like I'd seen the horrors of the world. Like I felt like Marlon Brando in, you know, in Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
I was seeing things. I was hearing things. I'm like,
this
man.
movie is a lot of things, and predictable is not one of them.
Oh, no. It made me really fear for the world. It did.
You're shaken at this point.
I was like, fuck, man. So, we start out, Bobby. Just some ladies cruising down the road on their bikes over the credits.
We're picking and a grinning on the soundtrack. This is like the beginning of 2000 Maniacs.
Now, yes, it is. And this song, Cruisin', which we played in the beginning of the episode, she's playing right now in the studio.
Yep.
Because Bobby and I we love this song. We love it.
Soaking that in.
Now, is it, I was talking to you before this episode, is it in the movie Jeepers Creepers, does that song play before he shows up or something like that?
No, it plays in his lair.
In his lair. Isn't there a
And then it
horror
plays
movie
during the
where like a
end
certain
credits.
song plays and then the guy shows up or something?
Oh, there's been stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was
That-
it Insidious had Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips?
That's like
Used a couple times when shit was hitting the fan.
Yeah, that's like this movie. You'll be hearing Cruising.
That song kicks in.
Look,
you've been spotted by the Slender Man.
Here's the thing. I know that's the last thing I'm going to hear on this earth. I know it. Like, I understand.
Before the curtain drops
that
on your life.
Before it all goes dark and I just drift off into the ether, I'll be hearing cruising, cruising, cruising down the road.
Mike, I promise I'll see to it that that's what happens.
Yeah, Bobby, you know what's going to happen to you too.
It gets to us all eventually.
Yeah.
We watch the tape.
Don't watch it. Do
not watch the tape.
watch this.
Because you're going to be cruising down that road.
Guys, seriously, little sidebar. Don't watch this movie. Like we're trying. This is a warning.
We're trying to warn you.
Okay. So
Like, we're
these...
doomed. We're damned. All that's going to be left is Chris Mann.
Yeah, and trust me, if you don't think we're going to chain man to a chair and make him watch this movie, you're wrong. You're wrong.
The dust will
One day-
settle, and there will only be Tanner.
Yeah, one day we're going to say, hey, man, we got an episode for you to record. Can you make it? And he's going to go, yeah. We're going to make him watch a movie for that time that he watched the wrong movie, which was the Jason Bateman movie he watched, which, guys, little hint. He didn't watch that Jason Bateman movie.
He didn't watch that
He
either.
just came in and said he watched the movie. He didn't watch anything.
Yeah.
It's a little
It's
man
okay. He doesn't
trickery.
listen to the show. We can say
Yeah,
this.
you can say whatever you want. We'll make him watch Young Psycho Girls, and he'll be forever changed as well. So they're cruising down the street, right? For like the length we've been talking. Don't worry, those credits are still going on. The song's still playing. We haven't lost anything.
The song might start over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when a wrestler is celebrating at the end of a match and they celebrate too long and the song starts over.
As you said, Stone Cold's glass breaks again.
A second time while he's getting drunk on the turnbuckle.
So then they're just driving. Then they pull into a drive-through, and they just order the usual, apparently.
And we have a card that comes up during this to let us know where and when we are. It says Pine Bluff, Colorado is where this is taking place. The time, like now.
Wow. See, again,
any
I'm telling you.
listeners who don't like how often we say like for no reason because we're Californians.
Yeah.
Even this movie is saying, it's like now.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. It's all there. The keys, the clues, it's all there, man.
Man, you saw with your third eye on this episode, Mike.
Oh, definitely. My eyes are open, Bobby.
I feel like by the end of this episode, I'm going to see things the way you see them.
I think you will.
I am the
You know?
Scully to your
You will
Mulder
also
here.
be going like, what temperature does jet fuel burn at, you know?
Oh, man.
So, I mean, I've never seen the world from space. Is it really round?
So you're saying the Titanic was an inside job?
We don't know.
You know, it blows my mind. People think that. There are people who think Titanic was a 9/11 style inside job.
They thought it was like Billy Zane or something?
I think so, yeah.
Huh. Maybe James Cameron did it. Get him on the phone. Go ahead and tweet at him.
Was it really an iceberg?
Yeah. Exactly.
Was it?
Yeah, exactly.
Or like an iceberg, was there so much more beneath the surface?
You just said, like an iceberg. See? You're starting to see my way, Bobby.
I think
Mike,
so.
You've got it. Like, Mike, patron member Mike, we get it now. Thank you.
See, the mics get it.
So some of the guy pulls up in a van, and they go like, hey, we got some beers in here, and they're like handing out beers. Now, this is a theme in the movie,
It's like
right?
the Monster Energy van show. They're handing out free cans.
Yeah, everybody grab a beer.
Who wants a beer?
And so these guys are apparently just riding around in their van, right? And they're like, hey, who wants a road beer? And they come over to the girls. Now, there's 3 girls, right?
Yeah.
There's 2 sisters and another girl.
Yeah.
Their names, it doesn't really matter.
One's Priss. I know
One's
that much.
Priss. The one who Priss.
Let me see if I can get their names.
Priss and the sisters, okay? It doesn't matter, Bobby.
None of this matters.
I mean, they all pretty much just blend in to
and
one
they're the
character.
Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, they are riding around on their bicycles on their big motorcycles, right? Apparently, they all have motorcycles, and they all ride around these motorcycles with Daisy Dukes on.
Absolutely.
Which I was like, that seems like a horrible idea.
Well, you haven't tried it, Mike.
No, I haven't, but I wouldn't.
Well, I've done it, and it's fine.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't like
you get used to
get
it.
any sort of like hot chafe
Well,
on you.
you gotta, it's how like you can't really get good at playing the guitar till your fingertips get calloused.
Yeah.
You gotta let your loins tough it up. You gotta get a good sear.
Yeah.
And then you're fine.
Yeah.
You don't feel it anymore after a while.
It'd be
Gotta
hot,
get that
right?
leathery inner thigh going
Yeah.
on.
Oof.
Ask Lorenzo Lamas. He knows.
So, this one girl, she's got one of the beers, right? And she says, this beer's getting hot. And that's when a guy says,
This beer's getting hot.
I get off on hot beer.
which I'm like, huh.
Well, who doesn't?
Okay, we're starting strong. Then the server brings in food, and he goes, here, I hope you choke. I'm like,
Nowhere.
what the fuck is
What
going on?
burger stand is this? Hey, fuck you.
Yeah, and then you know what she does? I mean, kind of rightfully so, is like your server comes up and goes, hey, I hope you choke, is that she just explodes the hot beer on his face.
Yeah.
And pours it all over him, and he's like, fuck you, I don't know why I liked you anyways, and then just walks away. Doesn't give him the food, right?
No.
And then the guys with the beers are like, yeah, we're bored, we're going to leave, bye.
Scene.
Yeah.
We got it. Check the
And
gate.
we're like, what the fuck? Anyways, what happens is these van guys hit the road, and then the girls are like, I want to go somewhere on our motorbikes.
Yeah, they're complaining about the complacency. It's
Yeah.
like, all we do is ride around this town. I want to really see the world.
Yeah, we're some young girls.
We're 3 teenage girls
Look,
with motorcycles.
We are 3 teenage girls that live in a town in Colorado that looks a lot like Angeles National Forest.
Uh-huh.
So much like Angeles National Forest that I'd imagine it is, but I need to leave this town, okay? And I feel like we could drive down the same streets for a while that we drove down in the credits and somehow get to California. And they're like, that sounds like a great idea.
It is. And a little note to say about their appearance. One of these girls is wearing a sweet Fred Jones ascot.
Really? I didn't notice this in the beginning.
You didn't notice the bright orange ascot? Like they were going to go solve a mystery with a Great Dane?
Huh. See, there's a lot of clues in this movie,
And
you
then
know?
one of the other girls, maybe Pris, maybe Blossom or Buttercup,
Maybe
I don't
one of
know.
them, yeah, we
One
don't
of the
know.
Powerpuffs is wearing a T-shirt that says "The Devil Made Me Do It."
Okay, see, there we go.
Oh, is
We're
this another
starting to
clue?
get into it.
Is this another?
We're starting to get into it.
Oh man, we're
Yeah.
cracking this thing wide open.
See, now we're starting to get into this, Bobby.
See, the ascot is to inform you, the viewer, that there's a mystery to solve here.
Yes, and The Devil Made Me Do It.
Is
And
your
think
first
about
clue.
this. There's a lot of temptation in this movie, right?
There is.
And it's directed by a man who made pornos his whole career and then suddenly quit.
Oh man, this is some Room 237 shit.
Right?
And you know, Danny in The Shining is wearing a NASA rocket on his sweater.
Yeah,
Because that was
right?
Stanley's way of admitting that he faked the moon landing.
Uh-huh.
For any listeners who don't know this out there, there's a whole fucking documentary about that concept.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty fun to watch. It's horseshit, but it's interesting to check
Oh, yeah,
out.
yeah, great to watch. And then you're like, so how did they get that American flag on the moon that you can see with a telescope?
And if these cycle girls were on the moon,
Yeah.
how come their Daisy Dukes aren't flapping?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So then the girls decide, hey, we're going to ride to California. And I was like, no, you're already there. Like, no, you're already there. Like, in fact, you live like 2 miles from my house. Like, I know you're there.
The Hollywood side's in the background.
Yeah,
We're
no,
fine.
seriously, you're right here.
It's going to be a short drip.
It was like a Dukes of Hazzard. Like, when I was a kid, I'd watch Dukes of Hazzard, and my dad walk in the room, and he'd go like, God damn it. Like, you can tell it's California. I'm like, don't ruin my illusion.
That happens all the time. I've mentioned before, every time you watch Nightmare on Elm Street, like, that's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, this is Los Angeles. You can tell in the background.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, listeners, if you do come and visit Los Angeles, go check out the house from Halloween. It's in Pasadena.
Yeah.
And you know what? When you drive around Pasadena, you're like, holy shit, they just filmed Halloween here.
Same with Nightmare on Elm Street.
And they just dumped a bunch of leaves on the street to make it look like it was the East Coast.
Absolutely.
So it works.
So these are, if you're a horror fan, Southern California, hell of a pilgrimage.
Oh, yeah. You can go see, look it up, though. You can go see the house that Michael lived in. Like, they moved it and all this stuff.
Yeah,
And,
a lot
it's
of
cool.
those, because Hollywood being the kind of town it is, a lot of people have preserved and restored a lot of those famous landmarks.
Yeah. The one in Pasadena is right next to the train track. And you
got
can
the-
go up, take pictures.
The bush is still there, too. If you want to do that Michael Myers stepping out from behind the bushes
Yep.
scene, everybody does it.
And if you go to Lori's house, you can see the pumpkin. They always leave a pumpkin on the front
See, that's cool.
porch. Yeah.
That's cool when people
Yeah.
do that.
Pasadena is a nice place, you know?
This episode is brought to you by the Pasadena Tourism Board.
Yeah.
Check it out or don't.
And this movie is brought to you by Angeles National Forest, where apparently you can just film a movie and nobody gives a fuck.
And
so.
the Lizard Illuminati.
Yeah.
As Michael explained as
Oh,
this continues.
don't worry.
We'll get through it.
Yeah. So they leave, right?
And as they're riding together on their bikes, two things to point out. One, they're able to have normal conversations like they're not riding on bikes.
Yes.
Like they're not shouting over the sound of engines. They're just
Nope.
sort of talking to each other, and that's fine. They're also clearly all being pulled on a trailer because they're perfectly lined up with each other.
Yeah.
And at the bottom of the screen, you could see the bar connecting all their bikes together.
Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't know that we had hover bikes in 1978 because they're 4 feet above the road.
Oh, absolutely. They're up
Yeah.
way too high. They're doing the classic movie bit when we used to do the green screen behind the car where like the guy won't stop jerking the wheel from side to side because
Yes,
I'm driving.
yes. Like,
'Cause
they're doing
keep
the throttle
They're fucking with the the clutch and the throttle. They're just like
Yes.
doing motorcycle
Girls
things.
like pushing the brakes.
Why? Yeah. While they're cruising down the road.
They're like, I don't know how this works.
And they're keeping perfect pace with each
yeah,
other.
cruising. And we're gonna say this song plays so many times in this movie.
I actually have an official count.
No,
I kept
for
count.
real?
Yes. The last time we hear Cruising Down the Road is the 9th time.
Wow.
Counting
And this- we're talking-
the end credits one is the 9th rendition of
We're
Cruising Down
talking
the
this
Road.
movie is 80 minutes long.
Yeah. In 80 minutes, we do it 9 times.
Holy shit, that's more than once every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Which is why by the time you get to the 7th one, you're standing on the roof of your house nude. You're just like, I can't. I'm sorry. I'm done with this world.
So, by the way, if you're gonna watch it, wait, don't watch this movie. But if
You're going to not watch this movie.
if you do want to change your life forever and watch The Young Psycho Girls, make sure you pay attention to this scene. Like Bobby said, you can see the bar attaching all the bikes together, and you can see them hovering 4 feet off the road. It's a great scene.
While having a nice chill conversation.
yeah,
with
They're
no
like,
engine
Should
sounds."
we go to California?
I think you're right. We should go to California.
Is this
Instead
the
of being
break?
like, what? I just swallowed a bug.
So they basically say, hey, we have to get permission from our parents because this is when we learn they're 17-year-old girls.
Yeah, we're dealing with minors here.
Holy shit.
And man, these are pretty cool teen girls, by the way. If they're rolling around on Harleys wearing T-shirts with the devil on them.
Okay, so these girls at 17 complain about how boring their lives are. They all own Harleys, each one of them. So their parents couldn't be that bad. They let them buy Harleys, right?
Yeah.
And they ride around Colorado and they're like, we're bored. Let's go ride to the beach, huh? I want to see the beach. So they go. And the way they do it is the two girls who are sisters are now jogging with their dad. And this guy, so here's where we get...
Their dad is doing the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out 3-mile jog.
Yeah.
Like I
Little
expect,
Mac
I
style.
expect the guy on the bicycle to be rolling in front of him.
And he's just jogging. And he goes, oh, what do you girls want to talk to me about? They're like, can we ride to California by ourselves? He goes, fuck no, you can't.
Yeah, rightfully so. He's like, that's a terrible idea.
All right, as he should.
And he's like, what are you going to do? You know, and they say, we're going to camp out as always. And the other girl goes, just like you taught us. I'm like, just like you taught us.
Okay, things start to get really weird here because they're like, if we race you for it, can we go? And he's like, all right, if you win, they win. Then they all collapse into the grass and they're like, oh, ha, ha, ha. And they're all touching each other. I'm like, it's their dad, right? Because at first I'm like, oh no, this is getting a little creepy. Thankfully, it just stops and he starts talking about their dead mother.
Yeah, he says, your mother never would have approved of this if she were alive. I'm like, you mean if she wasn't under the porch?
Bobby, see, a lot of little clues and breadcrumbs where...
I feel like you watched this while chain smoking and assembling an evidence wall.
Yes. Yeah, I got it up. I'll put the picture on the Twitter. Don't worry. I ran out of red yarn. I had to make a midnight run to Walmart to get some more.
It seems Red John has the upper hand.
So then he asks, how are you going to afford it? And they're just like, it's fine. We'll camp and we're going to do all this and we'll be fine. And gas, our motorcycles get 50 miles of the gallon and gas, it's 1978, so gas is like 2 cents a gallon.
Seems reasonable
Yeah.
enough, I guess.
So
I think this is one of those situations where the dad understood they're going no matter what I say.
yeah. And
He's
he
no
just-
dum-dum.
But he says, look, I know that you're girls. And they're like, we're women. He goes, okay, women. Whatever you say.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of creeps in the world. And they're like, oh, Dad, you just don't know what it's like to be out there.
What do you know?
What do you know, old man? We'll see.
Like every 17-year-old.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see what he knows.
This is my favorite scene in the whole movie.
the dinner?
What we cut to next. This is the creepiest shit I've ever seen in a movie, Bobby. Is it cuts to a man chewing, and then we zoom out to reveal that he's sitting at a table with his family where everybody at the table is watching him eat. His two daughters, Prissy and her younger sister, and the mother are watching this man chew the food. Then he swallows, and the wife says, "Is it satisfactory, dear?" And he says, "A bit dry, but otherwise fine."
You know that Twilight Zone where everyone's trying to appease the little boy?
Yeah.
Because he can control everything?
yeah. See?
And they're just everyone's on eggshells. Everyone's like,
yeah.
he can kill us all.
It's like he grew up and had a family. So I write,
Also-
so the family has to watch Dad eat and approve every night before they start eating? What if he
Apparently.
said no? Does everybody have to throw away the food
Hey,
and
as
start
this
again?
conversation continues, it seems more likely.
I feel like the
This
dad
guy
would
is an
stand
authoritarian.
up. He stands up. He takes his plate of food. He chucks it against the wall without saying a word, and he goes, "Do it again."
Well, I mean, judging by if you notice the background here, you mean he chucks it against the massive plaid curtain that serves as a wall?
Yeah. Yes. And he goes, "Do it again."
That's right.
And this time right. And then they all
That's
wait for
sad.
another hour where everybody has to sit in silence as mom cooks another meal in tears just to appease Papa.
Make it a turkey this time. I have all the time in the world.
Oh, the store's closed? Not my problem.
I didn't close it. So this is where Prissy
Yeah.
asks permission to go.
Well, she doesn't really, because what happens is her little sister goes, well, they go, "We hear your Easter break's coming up, Prissy. We'd like to see your room clean." And she goes, "Oh, I will." And then the dad says, "And also those grades are slipping." She's like, "I just got a good grade in English." And he goes, No. Science. You need to work your mind. Shape it. You need to understand things.
And I'm terrified. Is this more secret code to the
I
viewer?
think it is. I think we're talking
Is he telling
code here.
you
Yeah.
to see with your mind's eye?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, man.
Science, people. Science is what's the key, not English.
Jinkies, gang.
You know,
it's not
words
what's,
can only take you so far.
It's not what's being said.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And we didn't mention that they'll keep saying the phrase hot shot. They said it in the beginning where she tries to order food at the diner, and then he says, like, when and where hot shot.
See, that's the trigger word.
Yeah, hot
Croatoa.
shot. Yeah, they keep saying it, right? So then the parents...
Sleeper agents, man.
So then her little sister goes, Prissy's going to go ride to California with their friends tomorrow.
Oh, threw it to the wolves.
And the dad's like, the fuck? He just fucking gets crazy pissed about it.
And he sends her to her room just for even bringing it up.
Yeah.
Because she asks if that's okay, and he's like, "Go to your room." And then the little sister asks, "Daddy, are you going to lock Prissy in her room again?" I'm like, the fuck?
Get out. Leave.
He locks her in her room when
Yeah.
she says things he doesn't like?
Yeah. But see, now you see what I'm saying. There's a lot of triggers and shit going
there's
on
some,
that it's like,
some shit behind this, underneath it all.
what the fuck is going on?
There are stories within these stories.
And so then Prissy breaks out of her house under the cover of night. I write, it's for the best. Leave.
Never come back.
Right? So then, here
you
it is.
go that 5 minutes to California and you'd never come back.
So here's the other girls are named Sheila and Sherry.
There we go.
Okay. And they're smoking a joint and talking about Poochie because she isn't in the scene. Okay.
Right.
They're just going like, hey, Prissy's pretty cool, right? And they're like, yeah. And then they go on to say like, she's cool and all, but she's a virgin. And they're like, yeah, because her parents watch her like a hawk. Like they watch her being a virgin? That's scary,
Yeah, I feel
man.
like
What the fuck?
well, Dad is so controlling. I feel like
Yeah.
she's been allowed to go on dates, but Dad had to come too.
Do you think they had to sit down at the restaurant and wait for Dad to take the first bite?
Yeah, I think he's like, yeah, but I'm gonna go.
And he's talking to like a 15-year-old boy, and he's like, so what are your plans? I don't know, work at the restaurant?
and he sends him to his room.
Let me ask you something, son. Do you know what a 401k is? You got one of those? Huh?
No daughter of mine, then.
Well.
The boo box. Yes. The boo box. This guy has a boo box. You can't tell me he doesn't.
Oh, definitely. So they're smoking a joint, like I said, talking about Poochie. She's apparently a virgin. Yeah, we got that. Then she shows up. Movie continues.
Yeah. Never mind all that. She got out. We're going.
Hey, ready? Cruising. Oh, hey, guess what, guys? We're in California. We don't need to drive anymore. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're somewhere different. The theme song starts up again. They stop at places. We watch them juggling fruit, you know. Bobby, somebody listened to our Patreon episode about how to be cool at parties because there's a scene where a girl presses her face up against the glass of
It's
a phone
true.
booth. Yeah.
And that's just the coolest thing.
Yep. She knows what's up.
Flattening her face against it.
Yeah. Either Sheila or Sherry, one of the SS.
Shit. This thing goes all the way to the top.
God, man.
You're figuring it out as we talk about it.
So then we go to two guys hitchhiking, and like nobody's stopping for them. This is the most runtime I've ever seen in an entire movie.
What are we even doing?
Like, what is the secret code here? I don't know. I feel like maybe we discuss it. Maybe we'll figure this out. Something's going on.
Yeah.
There's just two guys waiting to get picked up, right?
Middle of nowhere.
Then all of a sudden these girls pull up in the motorcycles, right? And they ride off.
And they're like, hey, where you guys headed? We're like, just a little bit up the road. We're going to meet a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And they go, get on the bikes.
Yep.
And as we're cruising down the road, one of these teen boys starts getting a little grabby.
A little?
More than a little.
Yeah, he's like, well, I don't have any
He's
sort of
full
handlebar
on,
to hold on to.
So he goes full koala on her.
Yeah.
And he's just gripping her by the mammaries. And they keep cutting to his hands, grabbing her, and her hands calmly putting them back down while they're riding.
Because he's like a younger kid. He's
Yeah.
like 13 or something.
A little older, but it's like
she's
that.
just like, annoyed
These
by
kids,
it.
man.
Yeah. It's like, he thinks he's smooth, but she knows. So then they stop at some store to drop these kids off, and the kid's still holding the rack.
Mm-hmm. And she says, okay, kid, find yourself another pair of boobs.
Which was a pretty funny line. Okay, that's when this scene...
And they're not letting them off. They're picking up their friend.
This becomes so confusing. Is that... So these are two boys, and they're picking up their friend, which is one of the boys' girlfriends.
Yeah, it's an obese woman. And and she is
like
apparently...
an obese teenager.
Yeah.
She's like a 15-year-old girl that
and
she
she's
walks
the girlfriend
out,
of one of these two hitchhikers.
and it goes... And we're like, whoa.
Like, they might as well be doing the Winnie the Pooh music when she comes walking out.
Oh, bother. She kind of acts like Winnie the Pooh, too. She's very... Well, no, she more acts like Eeyore. She's very grumpy.
She's in a bad mood, and
Perpetually in a bad mood.
they have a whole shtick where she's apparently so fat she can't get her leg up high enough to get onto the back of the motorcycle.
Yeah. And the guy keeps saying... So what they do is they keep looping the same audio because the kid says, when there's a will, there's a way. When there's a will, there's a way.
Yep,
like,
as
you
she
just hear
keeps
it.
struggling.
Yeah. You just hear it over and over.
And eventually she gets on this thing, and they treat it the way they're all reacting. It's like seeing a circus bear riding a little bike.
Then they just drive away. And I write, this is part of my notes I write, what the fuck's going on?
What is this
We're
movie?
12 minutes into this movie. I don't know
We've doubled our cast of characters. We don't know anything about these people.
Yeah. I'm like, are these people going to be like around? Because I haven't learned names. Like, we really haven't had many introductions or names, and like, I don't know these people. I write, we're just Westworlding this shit at this point. Like, we're just going as we go, Like, it's going to be profound at some point, right? We'll figure it all
We're gonna have one of
out.
those bottle episodes where we're going to do just like an hour on their dad.
Yeah.
At what he does when he goes jogging.
We're just going to get it, One day we'll put all the pieces together. You'll
It's all going to
see.
make sense
Yeah.
once we figure it out.
So then we cut to some idiot selling fruit out of the back of his trunk.
And they pull over to sample the wares, and they're sneaking pieces of fruit, and they're juggling. They're kind of picking on this guy.
And the one girl, she's so fat that the other girl can't stop the bike because she's like, I'll never get it started again.
Yeah, it's rough, man. I
Yeah.
don't know why that's funny, but all right. It's gonna fat shame this teenager.
I don't know why that's funny. Like, it is funny, you just don't know why.
Sure, yeah, I was dying. The young boy lets this guy know. He's like, hey, that's my girl.
Yeah.
And the guy responds with, well, I'm relieved, boy. Sure as hell glad she ain't mine. And then they kick his leg out from him, and he falls on the ground, and they all take off. Hit that music again.
Cruising down the road. And I write, what's going on?
Which I believe is number 3.
Here's the thing, is like, people will start talking in scenes, and there's like no script. They just start talking about things, and I lose track of what's going on and where reality is. And people start... So the thing is, they flub their lines like you wouldn't believe, and they just keep going. I mean,
We're
my
not doing second
favorite
takes of anything.
is coming up when one of the main girls just totally restarts a sentence with different words and
That
tries
happens
to
a
say
couple
the same
times in this
thing.
movie. There's a scene at a burger stand later in the
Yeah,
film.
yeah,
Is
that's-
that the one you're talking
yeah.
about? Where
Oh,
like
yeah.
we take it from one.
Yeah, but you know what the crazy thing is?
She fucks it so hard. We're just like, you know what? We're taking it from the top. Let's go.
And the best part is, she takes it from one with a whole new line. Just like, just goes, you know what? Let's try that again in words that I can get out of my mouth.
I think I can do it better. Let me try this again. And we left the whole thing in.
And the director's just like, cut.
Hey, can you hit the cruising song again? So we
Yeah,
can...
come on, play cruising. I feel like they were playing cruising throughout the whole shoot,
Endlessly?
And they're driving people insane. They're just like, can you turn that off? They're like, it's an original song. We got it for the movie. Everybody loves it, right? No. It was fine the first day.
The soundtrack sold 0 copies.
Then the large girl and the writer fall off the bike.
Well, we have a blowout, you see, because the sheer density of her ass flattened the back tire.
Humpty Dumpty broke this wall. Like, that's what happened.
Why are we doing this?
I don't know.
But all right, so we have this blowout, and we're stranded on the side
And
of
also,
the road.
the thing is, Bobby, it's so funny that the camera even laughs itself to
Yeah.
sleep. Like, it just literally, the camera at one point falls over and turns off.
It's like the end of the Blair Witch Project.
It is. It's like they just tried to, and fell off the tripod.
credits.
By the way, not the only time that's going to happen in this movie, where a camera literally just falls and we keep it in. All right? Again, let's piece this together.
And the rotund young lady is not having this motorcycle shit anymore. She
No.
decides, I'm going to walk the rest of the way of where we're going. I don't care. She says, you're never getting me on one of those roller skates again. I'd rather have sore feet than a sore ass.
That was a good line. I like that one.
It's the one well-delivered line in this movie.
So the two guys, the hitchhikers, are like, yeah, fuck it, we're leaving.
And they mosey on out of this film.
And the girls are like, the fuck? Nobody's going to help us fix the bikes? And they're like, nope.
So they're on their own. And so they have to devise a plan here. And they're like, all right, so, there's going to be a station X amount of miles up the road.
Good thing we all bought the same bike.
Yeah. And so they grab the tire that blew out.
Yeah.
And the two of the girls are going to ride to the next service station to get the tire's wheel fixed. That means they have to leave one girl behind to watch the bike. And she's fine with that. She says, make sure you leave me the radio and a joint.
Yeah. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to get high here in the desert.
I'm
No
gonna
problem.
lay down on the ground in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
With my head on a rock. I'm going to get
A
super
rock
high.
is a pillow. That, to me, I was like, come on.
Like, what are you, Snoopy's cousin? You're going to lay against a cactus?
So, yeah, they leave her there, right? Then they go to buying a tire, and this old coot is like, are you girls Hell's Angels?
And they respond with, we're more like Charlie's Angels.
And then he's like, no, really, are you like some sort of bicycle gang? And she goes, listen here, you old fuck. Go get us a new tire or I'll cut your fucking head off.
That's it.
I'm not joking.
I know.
That's a line in the movie.
Maybe they are Hell's Angels.
And then he's like, oh, shit. Then all of a sudden, zoom in with scary music to a man in a beanie watching them.
Yeah.
What in the fuck?
Suddenly this character who hasn't been introduced shows up, and it's intense.
Oh, yeah. He's been staring at them the whole scene, and you're like, oh, this extra is just crazy, right? Then they leave the scene because they're like, oh, we want to go get high. Where should we go get high? In that bathroom.
Which is odd because thus far in the movie, everyone's just getting high out in the open.
Yeah.
It's the 70s. It's a road movie. These very characters have been seen just chilling in the middle of, Pine Bluff, Colorado on the street smoking a joint. Now we have to go hide in a restroom?
Well, they're at this point, I think they're in Utah. So, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're in the bathroom smoking a doob. And they notice that the creepy, intense guy in the beanie, Jughead, is staring at him through the window.
Okay, so the way he stares through this window is one of the creepiest things
It's
I've
like he's
ever
trying
seen.
to scan them.
Again, see, something's going on, Bobby.
I think the government's involved in this
The
one.
Illuminati's involved at this point.
No
Like,
question. They got
this
too
guy,
close.
like,
To
you
what, I don't
remember-
know, but they got too close.
Do you remember how we talked about that telephone movie with Bronson and how the Russians would call people on the phone and all of a sudden they'd be activated as sleeper agents? Yeah. I think we're seeing a telephone type situation.
Or that
here.
movie Bells.
I've never seen that
Oh,
one.
where people can assassinate people with the phone. There's a tone that they'll play through the phone receiver that'll make your head explode.
Oh my God.
Oh, I gotta send you that movie.
We're into something. Like we're
AKA
into...
Murder by Phone. It's a great movie.
This sounds good.
Yeah, that might be a bin movie one day.
Yeah, bring it in.
Yeah,
I always love the Bobby pick, so we'll do it.
We'll bring it forward for review.
Like the one time you were gonna pick a movie and then one of our patrons picked it for you, which I still think he's a plant.
I'm not saying. It's a very spooky plant.
So, yeah, like you're saying, he's trying to scan him. He's pulling a Cronenberg. Somebody's head's gonna explode at some point.
And we get a see anything you like moment because one of these girls is like, fuck this guy. Hey, weirdo, check this out. She's flashing her boobs.
Yeah.
She turns around. She starts mooning him.
Yeah, she pulls the other girl's shirt down. She's like, show him too.
That girl's sitting on the toilet. She's like, hey, I'm trying to do my... Like, could we not?
Also, really weird taking a shit and smoking a joint with your friend. Like in the room at the same time. We
Like,
couldn't-
I don't... I'd go far enough to say that we're friends, Mike. You and I.
Yeah.
I consider you a friend. I'm not going to shit in front of you.
No. And look, I got a small apartment.
Like,
Okay.
and if you want to get high, we're not doing it in a public restroom.
Well, next time you're over, when we're recording the Grindbin at my place, you take a shit and we'll smoke a joint in the shower. Okay.
Perfect. You know, that's how I met my wife.
And we'll bring Man in the room too.
Oh,
you know?
well, just make it.
We'll just record the whole bit in there.
Bring all the Grindbin All-Stars in there. We'll do it all. Well, and then while we're all high on the shitter, we'll try and do a seance and bring back Hughes.
And we'll try to figure out Cycle Girls.
I think that's the night we're going to crack this open. We're going to get to the bottom of it.
I feel like if I don't get to the bottom of it, I'm going to pull like the end of Pi, and I'm just going to drill the shit out of my own skull.
I think so. I anticipate that's how this... Spoiler alert, that's how this episode ends, listeners.
Cruising. So they're flashing up and everything. The guy never changes his expression. Then Sherry... Yeah, she takes her pants off. She's like, hey, you see anything? And then they go out, right? The music swells. It's like, dun, dun, dun.
And then she confronts this guy and goes, what do you want? And his response is, I wanted to fuck you.
And I was like, you know what? At least he's honest, right? Like, at least he came out. He didn't code it in any sort of language. He just said it straight out. That's what he wanted.
And they tell him to get the fuck out of here. And so he gets back at his truck, and we linger on the door of his truck, where he has this hand-painted, a skull and like the cold dead fingers thing that Charlton Heston said.
Yeah.
So this guy's a gun nut.
Yeah. Oh, he likes his gun. And don't try to take it from him. That's what it says on the door of his truck. Don't take my gun. Got it.
And he just,
sir, I don't want it.
But it's all right. It's
you
okay.
Go ahead. You do you. You get that gun. That's fine. You live in Utah. You do whatever you want, sir.
But that's all right, though, because Creepy Jughead goes and rolls right out of this movie.
Yeah. We'll never see him again.
Nope.
So then we go to the policeman. A policeman stops on the side of the road because he sees the crash bike. Nobody's around, right? That's when he finds Snoopy's cousin with her head on a rock.
Sitting against a cactus. With her bucket hat, her little mustache.
Yeah. And he's like, come on over to the patrol car. Then he puts her on the car. He tells her to spread them.
And while he's doing all this, he's, she's like, what are you looking for? And he goes, maybe some of that cannabis marijuana.
Yeah.
See, we got a real Jeff Sessions here.
Maybe some of that cannabis marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Some of that devil's lettuce.
So then he searches creepily. And he's putting...
This is when we find out she's 17.
Yeah, and that's when he starts touching her even more creepy.
Yeah,
he's like,
he doesn't get
only
interested
17?
until he sees her ID and realizes she's a minor, and then he starts getting worked into a lather.
That's when he pats her on the ass. He pats her on the ass, Bobby, and he says she's got a nice, healthy body.
Because we want this movie to be upsetting above all.
Remember how we said that this movie starts to take turns?
Uh-huh.
Oh, get ready.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is now what we thought was just going to be a nice, sweet movie about three girls taking a little trip to California. You know, maybe we have some adventures, misadventures. You know, maybe we find love on the road.
That's exactly going into this. It's the young cycle girls, and the way we've met them so far, I'm like, oh, we're gonna meet some boys at a burger stand.
They're innocent.
We're gonna maybe do some skinny dipping or whatever.
Maybe
we're gonna
they pick up some hitchhikers. You know, maybe there's a big one and the tire popped. You know, we're all having a good time.
Yeah,
right?
that's fine. And then this guy shows up, and it's fucking R. Lee Ermey in the Texas Chainsaw remake. Put this gun in your mouth.
Yeah,
I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah.
The edible kicked in and I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
So speaking of putting things in mouths,
yes, sir.
What happens is we go into the squad car when he finds out she's 17. He's like, you're arrested because you can't, this license doesn't work in the state of Utah. Mm-hmm. You can't drive a motorcycle at the age of 17. You have to be 18.
And
she's like, well, I fucking don't know that. And he's like, well, get in the car. He gets her in the car and he says, you ever been to a small town jail before? She's like, no, of course not. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then he's like, you ever seen one of these before? Oh, boy.
Yeah, and
boy.
one of these he's referring to as peen.
Yeah.
He has unzipped, he has unbuckled, and he
deputy. Yeah.
The deputy has arrived on the scene.
Yep.
And he grabs her by the head, and he's going to attempt to force her to fillet him.
Well, he
having a good
first
time,
says,
everybody?
the real red flag is he says, I hear all you kids screw.
Yeah. And she says, well, not all of us.
Yeah. And that's when he says, you ever seen one of these before? Oh, boy.
Like, yeah, but bigger.
This is the point when I'm like, Mike?
Yeah. Oh, I get to pull this to somebody who isn't Chuck. Hold on. Mike. This is just you and me talking right now, Mike. What are we doing, dude?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What the hell's going on, man?
Come on, what?
Like, I'm starting to lose. I'm like, the fuck, dude?
You're sweating bullets now.
Because this movie, it keeps lulling you into the sense of safety.
Like fun and adventure,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like-
suddenly there's a dick, and I don't.
Yeah, and a man's like, put your mouth around it,
Yeah,
and he's grabbing the back of your head, and,
and
you're
you're
like,
like,
no,
hey, no.
what are we doing?
I came here to have a good time, and honestly, I'm feeling very attacked.
Yes, look, at one point, we're just cruising down the road, right?
That's all we wanted to do. We came here to cruise down the road.
And now we're cruising like Al Pacino. Like, I don't know what is going on.
You need to warn me about the roadhead.
So then, thank God, the other girls show up and they're like, "What in the fuck is going on
What's
here?"
funny is this guy's reaction. He's like, "What the fuck? What even?" And she told him she has
Yeah.
2 friends that are coming any minute
to
now.
give her tire. Like, they
And then
had
when
to
he
get a new
sees
tire.
2 friends arrive with a tire, he's like, "What the shit?"
Yeah, he's like, "Demons!"
Yeah, he's seeing a ghost. And so he's very upset about this. And
Okay.
they immediately roll up on this cop, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
One of the girls, this is when it takes, we're like, "Whoa, Thelma and Louise, what the
Yeah.
fuck?"
Because they beat his ass
And they take his gun.
and start shooting at him.
Yeah. One of the girls,
And
one
we do
of
the
the
classic.
SS,
He's like, "Well, you don't know how to use that, do you, little girl?" And then she cracks a shot off, and he turns and starts running.
yeah, into the windshield, which, by the way, we know Dad was teaching them how to shoot. He taught them how to camp. He taught them how to shoot. He
These are
taught them everything.
survivalists.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
See, we don't know much about Dad, but there's a reason that a man in his 60s is going on jogs every day.
Bobby, think about it.
Always ready.
We're getting into it, right? You know, remember Demon Cop?
Mm-hmm.
Where was he from?
Oh.
Colorado,
Yes.
right? And where was Bloodhound, right?
It makes sense.
See? It's all coming together, guys.
It's all related.
coming together.
It's-
Mike, we get it. Thank you. You've
Thank you for
opened our
letting
eyes.
us know.
You know, are you Rocco?
Oh, man.
Mike, are you Bloodhound?
I knew it. Bloodhound Mike. This point forward.
So then the other girls show up. They shoot at the cop. They shoot at him.
Yeah.
As he
he's
runs
legging
away.
it down the road.
Okay, here's where they made the mistake, though.
Because I think I have that in my notes, too.
They shoot at him, right?
Uh-huh.
Then they get on their bikes
He
and
gets
they
far
drive
enough away.
Yeah,
That they toss his gun in the field
yeah.
or off the side of the road, and they just start riding, giving him the opportunity to turn around, get back in the car, and give chase.
Yeah. You
Why
gotta-
the fuck didn't you shoot at his tires?
Oh, I was going to say, you got to take the keys. You got to throw the keys.
Oh, definitely throw the keys, but also blow a hole in each tire with
Perfect.
that gun you're holding.
Exactly.
Make sure his gun is used up and empty, and his car is disabled.
Yeah.
Shoot the radio while you're at it.
Perfect, yeah.
Strand him out there with no means of calling anybody,
Uh-huh.
and he can't follow you.
Yes, and you got to get those keys. You got to
Instead-
get the keys.
We get a Benny Hill chase.
Yep.
Everything
goes
goes
on.
fast forward.
Cruising.
This
It
is
goes
number
on.
4, by the way,
goes on.
of cruising down the road, as you can hear behind me while I'm speaking.
Yeah. This chase goes on for about 6 minutes. Runtime.
Yep.
And then here's the thing. The cop gets stuck in the dirt, chase over, and I go, but somebody didn't tell the director because we're still watching the girls drive around. Like, there's a chase going on.
Yeah.
But they're like, cut. I guess they're going to still drive. All right. Well,
Why
we
not?
got it. Might as well use it. Then it's over.
And then we move on, and they get to they find a water slide.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Sorry, am I
Back on the
passing
road.
something?
Song back.
Cruising.
That's what I write. It's funny. They seem to be riding on the same road as the credits.
Yeah, we've returned to this.
It's like, because I've also driven down that same 2-lane highway on
Oh, you've been to-
Angeles National Forest
You been to Colorado?
plenty of times.
You've driven through
You know,
Pine Bluff?
What's so funny about Colorado is it looks nothing like this. I write, maybe a new shot, right? Like, not the same exact one we used in the credits.
Like, do we need to reuse it?
Exactly. I read it's not that hard to get one different fucking shot than the one in the credits, but everybody's so goddamn high at this point they don't know.
Oh yeah.
Then they pass the Virgin River in Arizona, and I write, you know what? I was right there, actually. This part was filmed in Arizona.
No shit.
Yes, when I went to Utah about a month ago, drove through this same area, drove through that same highway. And let me tell you something, they weren't there before. Because I drove down that fucking highway, and let me tell you one thing, there's no goddamn hills like that.
Nothing?
No.
Huh.
Then the camera falls off at a truck stop. What happens is they pull up to a truck stop, which is still there, by the way, because when I saw that, I'm like, oh, shit, I just drove past that. And then the camera goes, oh, shit, I just drove fall off the tripod. Then we just cut to a shot of them sitting in a field. Cut.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening?
Yeah, the movie itself has gotten a bit confused.
You know what though? Back to writing.
Oh, good.
And you can hear that song. The background. See, now it's like I feel
My eye is twitching.
Like, here's the thing, though. Now I'm like, that's right. Everything's fine in the world. You know, you just hear the song and everything's okay.
As long as I hear the song,
and
I
I'm
know
okay.
everything's okay.
All right, I'm back on the road.
Just need the song on the road. The
Back
song
where
on
I
the
need
road.
to be. You know, people, it's fine. We can forget about bad things that happen to us. We just need to keep on cruising, right? Keep on going.
That's the motto of the Grindbin.
Then we go to a lake.
Yeah.
And the worst water park in the world.
It's pretty terrible. I've never seen someone go down a water slide more slowly.
Okay, I wrote the same thing. The water slide is so fucking shitty that at one point the girl can't go down it fast enough.
She comes to a dead stop.
And
She stands up and runs off the slide.
And I'm like, put a fucking incline.
Mike, have you
can't
ever-
make a slide at a 2-degree incline.
It's true. Have you ever stopped on a water slide?
No.
Let me tell you something. Fat kid Bobby
Oh, no.
went to a water park. And, they tell you cross your arms, cross your legs. You make yourself basically a human bullet.
Yeah.
So you could travel as fast as possible. My dumb ass sat up. And my ass skidded to a dead stop mid-slide.
Oh, no.
And here's the real conundrum, Mike. How do you get moving again?
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm like, I kind of...
And, you only got so much time. Somebody's coming behind you.
And then suddenly...
Cruising,
you know when there's a tsunami coming because the water recedes.
Oh.
Suddenly the water started getting a lot stronger. I'm like, this is not good. This is not good at all. I must go faster. And I wasn't fast enough, and I got a pair of feet to the small of my back.
Holy shit.
Which was, I think, worse for him than for me because I knew it was coming. So imagine you're going down a water slide, whoop-de-dooing and having a great time, and then suddenly there's some fat kid blocking the pipe like Augustus Gloop.
That's like the episode of The Simpsons when Homer gets stuck in the water slide and all those kids pile up behind him.
And I gotta tell you, you'd think from this shared experience of going down the second half of a water slide with a partner next to you, you'd feel a bond because you went through something together. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. This kid did not want to speak to me.
You get off the ride and you're like, my name's Bobby. And he just...
It's just not. I got nothing
Like, nope.
from this guy. He
Nope.
just shook his head.
Nope.
Like stupid fat kid. Meanwhile, I got 2 footprints on the back.
You got stuck on a water slide.
I got stuck
Man.
on a water slide.
Was the lifeguard like, look, we told you to lay down, kid. Cross your arms, cross your legs. You think that was just a fucking suggestion?
You think we were fucking with you, fatty? Now you know. I don't know why I'm turning into Taz. Survive if I let you. I imagine for the lifeguard, you got to be standing there at the end of the slide going, hey, where's the fat kid?
Yeah.
You're just waiting, and that person never came out.
And he's like, you know what? We see it all the time.
Did he fall off? Did he fly out?
Fat
I
and
know
dumb,
that turns a bit fast.
You
but
know, double trouble.
It's bad. It's bad, man. And just a tangle of 2 young kids.
Did you have like a Tanner moment when you went home, like you saw that baby robot get killed, and you're like, God damn it, man.
That's how it went down. Cried
You
for
decided
days.
to change your life for the better, you know? You put on your Psycho Girls soundtrack, and you never looked back.
And I realized it's not water that I needed. It was the road.
Yeah.
And I was cruising.
Did you ever go on a water slide again, or were you done?
Have I been? I don't think I have. I think now that you say that, I don't think I've ever been on a water slide
You're
again.
like, you know
That
what?
may
Fuck
have
this.
he may have drop kicked my love for water slides right out my ass that day.
Yep, didn't need it.
That's just it.
So there's also a trapeze in the water in this place.
That seems fun. I'd try that.
Except here's the great part. The girl goes to use the trapeze. You got to hold on. Because she just grabs it, slides down, and just fucking face slaps herself on
Sticks
that
the
water.
landing.
Yeah. I was like, ow. So then they go to a burger place, right? And they're so hungry. One of the girls says, I don't care if it's rotten, I'll eat it. I'm like, don't give them ideas.
What's funny too is they go to a place and this burger stand and they
Yeah.
go, and the waitress is like, so what are you having? And they go, what's good? And this is like if you ever go to In-N-Out and someone's hesitating to figure out what they want, and they're
Yeah.
asking a bunch of questions. They're like,
1 or 2 patties. Fucking pick
yeah,
it.
the variance is size. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Are you super hungry or are you just a little hungry?
a chicken sandwich?
I was told there were banana shakes.
So anyways, the waitress is like, can you order some fucking food? We serve burgers.
And so they say, how about some burgers and fries? There's no specifics.
Yeah.
It's like when people walk into bars and movies and they go, give me a beer.
Oh, God, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like even the fucking X-Men movie, Wolverine goes, "Can I have a beer?" when he walks in, and they just hand him a beer bottle. Like, what?
Like, you couldn't get one sponsor, you know?
Right. Make one up.
Like, Wolverine always drinks Blue Moon, you know? Like, just something.
Done.
Yeah.
But and this happens here. It's just like, hey, how about some burgers and fries? And then these burgers and fries come out so fast. There's no way they weren't just sitting out already.
Oh, they were sitting out. And I wrote,
This
I
is
hope,
shit that like people didn't eat from earlier.
I hope that we get to watch a whole scene of them eating, is what I write. Because I feel like, look, we're relaxing again, you know? There's water slides. They called this place an oasis.
And
Everything's fine in the world, Bobby. It's all okay.
interesting in this conversation because they discuss how far is it to the coast.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me try that again. How far to? Sorry. How far to the coast of California coast? That's the
that's
line.
pretty close. In fact, drop it in right here so we can see
Yeah.
how close you were to that performance.
How far is it to Los Angeles from here? You know, how long does it take to get to the coast? Yeah, the ocean. The coast?
It is. Hey, we get there. All that matters
Yeah.
is we get there. Just like when you're cruising down the road, it doesn't matter.
You know,
We'll get there eventually.
we'll get there eventually.
We're gonna
and
take
the
our
waitress
time.
is just like, she's almost about to exit, then has to like go back to one, and then it's like,
We're starting it from the top.
Okay, you know
We're
what?
gonna-
Fuck
We're
it.
going to remove the burgers. We're going to place them again.
Yeah.
And so the lady lets them know because we're in Arizona, and
Yeah.
she says it's about a day and a half to the coast.
I'm like, no,
Now,
it's not.
My first thought too. And so I looked into it.
Yeah.
And from the easternmost point of Arizona,
Yeah.
it is max 11 hours.
Okay, well, I can tell you this right now. Where they
To
were
Huntington Beach is what I took.
Where they were at the Virgin River.
Okay.
Because I was just there.
So you know that
right?
spot.
Now, guess what? I drove from Utah to California
Uh-huh.
in one day. Didn't stop. You know why? Because I left at 7 in the morning and I got back before 5 at night.
Beautiful.
And you know what? I dealt with LA traffic.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Didn't take 3 days.
Hey, I did, was it Reno, Nevada to Southern California in 10 hours?
Yeah, it's possible. And
Yeah.
you know what? Where the Virgin River is in Arizona? About an hour outside of Vegas.
Like, so under what circumstances is it a day and a half ride on a horse?
It's not. It's 4 hours from there.
Is this a Western?
So she says a day and a half, but then she starts going like, "So what's up with you girls? You hate your parents too?"
This gets a little
What?
weird. She begins to try and convince them to never return home.
Yeah, this is like that Jodie Foster movie where she's like a carny. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know that one. Which one is she, a carny?
It's like some one where she like falls in love with a carny or something. It's like where she's like a young kid. It's kind of like a Taxi Driver, but in carny world. It's a real conundrum. So yeah, she's like, no, I hate my parents. That's why I work at this burger stand in Arizona. And you know what? Never been happier.
You can tell.
And they like, as she walks away, they're like, well, that girl's a loser. Am I right, girls? Then they just say, you know what? Fuck this burger. And then they just fucking flip over the table and just walk on out of that scene. And I just write, what the fuck is happening?
I feel that way through most of this movie.
Just leave the scene. And then we just kind of wander our way into a campfire scene.
Also, it's worth noting, they took 2 bites of their burgers and walked away.
Yeah, they took 2 bites. They said, you know what? Fuck this. Fuck your food. Fuck you. And they walked out. Yep.
Sorry, those burgers were cold anyway.
Yeah. Cruise. So now they like stop at some point and they go, oh, look, this girl needs help. Oh, she has a guy with her.
Yeah, we
oh,
meet
we're
some
gonna
new
camp.
characters, and they do it the best way you can is by awkwardly backlighting them. So I can't see shit in
Yeah,
this scene.
because you know what? They're like, we ran out of daylight, but god damn it if we're not going to film this scene anyways.
Look, it's on the schedule.
Yep. Got to
can't-
do it.
we can't get more
Gotta
days.
do it. I don't care if the sun's down, prissy. Say your line!
And so I don't know what's happening here. You know,
Nobody does.
I know they end up sitting around a campfire. The guy's name's Jake. The girl's name is...
Oh, his name is Jesus, Bobby.
Oh, pardon me.
Because he's going to start showing them, guess what? You want to get high tonight?
Well, he does let them know that every beautiful woman should be high.
Toot toot. You hear that, Bobby?
Oh, man.
2 tickets aboard the H train coming
Yeah.
right up.
And they're like, no, we're not. We're not gonna fuck with heroin. We're
He
teenagers.
fucking pulls out heroin like he's
Heroin.
goddamn Eric Clapton, and he's fucking going, hey, you want to have a real good time, right? open up those veins.
I got to point out, too, that this guy looks like, for anyone's a Lemony Snicket fan, this guy looks like Count Orloff.
Look,
Olaf, not Orloff.
he pulls out the H, right? And
Yeah.
she says, Jesus.
Brought
and
to you today by the letter H.
She goes, Jesus. And he looks up and he goes, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is going on? And he's just like, yeah, man, it's enlightenment. And they're like, hey, man, this isn't our scene, okay? We're not down for the H train, all right? No H airlines for us. No.
No.
Southwest.
Not today, Triple H.
Yeah. You know what's funny, Bobby, is I called him Triple H in my notes. Hunter Hearst Heroin. Yeah, I like that. You got it first. So it's now yours.
I got it in there. Ownership.
So we watch as a lady catches a ride on the H train with some very scary music. Very like, you know, that I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the weed scare movies, you know?
Reefer Madness.
Yeah, Reefer Madness.
Yeah.
I write, how did we get here? Not just in the movie, I mean in life.
Yeah, you're seeing through the walls
Yeah,
now.
I'm like, man,
Like,
something's going on. So then this guy gets all mad. He's like, you don't want to take a flight on Heroin Airlines? And they're like, no, no, no.
and he mentions that being a virgin sucks.
Yeah.
And he starts playing the guitar.
Oh, God. See, this is when I go, girls, life lesson right here. This is when you leave the party. When the person on heroin starts playing the guitar. Just leave.
That's the sign.
Yeah. With the acoustic guitar out, go.
It's the opposite of hearing a rooster crow.
But they don't, because this is what I wrote. Once that the camera kind of drifts off as the girl on heroin plays the guitar, you know, the lady he's with. And I wrote, I've never seen a movie that has made me high trying to watch it.
You feel like you don't have your faculties about yourself.
No, I felt like I was literally getting high while I was watching this movie. I'm like, is this like, you heard of that video game called Polybius?
No.
So there's like this government conspiracy idea, this conspiracy theory about this game in Portland called Polybius that was put into arcades, and it was actually like a government program that would make people go insane when they played it.
What?
Look it up. I'm serious. Look it up. There's all these people that claim like it was real and everything, and it was like developed by these
Am I
people.
on coast to coast right now?
There's like pictures of the arcade board and everything. And it would apparently drive you insane as you tried to play it. And there was like all these stories. There's like some story in the newspaper about some kids that had a heart attack playing a video game in an arcade.
Man. I mean, I felt that way playing Bust-A-Move a couple times.
But I was like,
And like you thought for sure that bubble was going to line up, and
Yeah.
you just missed, and you feel like you're going to die. You're like, these dinosaurs.
you're like, you know what? I'll just switch over to Metal Slug. All right.
That's it.
So
Gotta torch some people.
I wrote, this is like the Polybius of movies. Like, this is it. This is the government movie. They were trying to fucking see if they could make you high through a movie. Something's wrong. Now, Bobby, this is when the world changes.
This is when our world darkens and crashes in on us.
So, like, there's always a point as a human when you, like, realize that the world's not everything you thought it was, you know? And unfortunately, this is the night that these girls have to learn this, okay?
So Jake says to his partner, let me tie these turkeys in their bags. And he does.
Yeah. And he doesn't, like, Jason Voorhees them, like, hit them against a tree in the sleeping bag.
No.
He
So he binds them in their bags so
yeah.
they can't leave their sleeping bags. And then, look, man, I came here to have a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't want... Okay. He has his way with one of them.
Yeah, he de-virginizes his prissy.
Yeah. And that's awful. It's hard to watch.
So
also,
here's the thing,
I don't
though.
really understand.
Was she in her sleeping bag?
I don't understand the logistics of this because from what I could tell, he's just...
On top of the bag.
He's dry humping a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
But
I was like,
we
he is-
established though, we all accept that it happened.
You know what? Maybe that's why she's not so upset about 5 minutes from now. Because she's like, well, that guy was so fucking high, I didn't realize he was just humping a sleeping bag.
I'm gonna make that headcanon accepted.
Let's do that, okay? Let's just do that.
He's so on the horse that he didn't realize
Hunter Hearst Heroin didn't realize he was given the pedigree to a sleeping bag.
That does explain why her tone is more like, well, that was weird.
Yeah,
than I've been raped.
Yeah, no, because guys, now here's the thing: we know about the term "hard then soft," right? Well, Young Psycho Girls doesn't work that way. It's called soft then hard. Okay. That's what Young Psycho Girls likes to tell you. It likes to tell you, you feel like a piece of shit, don't you? Huh? Well, get a boner now. Right now.
And I'm like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
I
And
will
they're
not.
like, you know what? You will. Because what we're going to do, They got both their bikes stolen. You know what? They're down to one bike, and now they're all riding on the street, right? And we're riding down. We don't have the theme song anymore, okay? They stop at a hotel. They go to get cleaned. And you know what? You know that girl who got raped through the sleeping bag? Look at her topless.
I don't want to.
And I'm like, please don't.
Please don't.
Cycle girls, please stop.
Why are
I know
you
I
doing
have to
this
watch
to
you
us?
for the podcast, but please stop.
Why did this is one of the rare times where I feel like the movie hates us. Like, what
It
the
does.
fuck did I do to
Oh,
you?
this
I didn't
movie-
even know who you were until today.
This movie does hate you.
Yeah.
Because this is it. This is the point when I figured it out. This man who directed pornos his whole career says, you know what? You like those movies? Fuck you. Fuck you for liking it. Fuck you for liking gratuitous sex. Fuck you for liking drugs. Fuck you for everything. You like that shit? Yeah? I hope you fucking die.
Hey, you know. Fair
It
enough.
really is.
Yeah, no, it does
because
feel that
it
way.
is. It's like this movie now becomes punishment for you liking movies like this. This is a giant morality play, and then it's telling you, it's like, oh, you want to go have fun, huh? You want to be a little 17-year-old girl, go on a little trip with your girlfriends, huh? Well, how about you fucking see the real world, huh? Learn about death, Tanner. Learn about death.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you know, I thought about that every time situations like this came up in this movie. I just pictured young Tanner, full beard intact, weeping openly.
Yeah. Dad, please turn off Psycho Girls. Learn about it, Tanner.
This is what happens.
You know when you said you want to go on vacation with your friends? Yeah? Huh? You want to go on your bikes now?
I bet you do.
Yeah,
young
you
Tanner.
thought it'd be like E.T., huh? You could go find a little alien friend in the forest? No, this is what it's like out there, huh? This is what people are like.
This is why your big wheel doesn't go outside the street. You stay on this block, Tanner.
I started to think, is this a movie that they would show girls, like parents would show girls, like a Reefer Madness?
Oh, is this a warning movie?
That's what I'm starting to think, Bobby.
Oh,
that
man.
this is actually a warning movie.
This is
that
one of
they
those
were like,
PSAs?
Show this to your kids.
It's like telling young boys don't hitchhike.
Yeah. But I do feel like we're talking about a man who directed sleazy movies his entire career, and this was like his last movie that he was just like, you know what? He goes out of the room with two middle fingers up, just says, fuck all y'all. You like that movie about revenging virgins that are all Native American women that kill all those white guys because they're virgins? Yeah, fuck you.
He gives one last middle finger. He hops on his motorcycle and hit that music.
Yeah. That's how he did it. The premiere at the drive-in. He just drives out,
cruised on
blaring
out
it.
of there.
Yep. Do you think this is the point at the drive-in where a lot of people were like, maybe it's getting a little late. You think we should go?
Yeah, I think people were putting their seats back up. They're like, I got school in the
They
morning.
go like, well, I really want to see how it ends, though.
I'm sure it all works out.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get to California eventually. And so then these girls are left huddled, crying, collecting themselves in a hotel room. No, they're not. They're just topless in the
They're
shower.
chilling, hanging out. Like, oh, that was a rough day.
And here we go. How are we going to confront the rape? We got to confront it through dialogue so everybody can understand what happened and we can get ourselves square. Ready? One girl walks in the bathroom. One of the SS walks in the bathroom and goes, hey, Prissy, you all right? She goes, yeah. She goes, you want me to call the doctor? No, I'm good. All right. Then she goes back and
We're gonna
sits with
call
her
Dad
sister.
now.
Yeah, we should call Dad, right?
We'll check in.
Call him up. He's like, hey, what's up?
And
Like-
he asks how everybody's doing. They're like, hey, we're all right. We're getting by. We're
all
roughing
right.
it.
We watched a guy on heroin hump a sleeping bag.
And
was
he actually
fucking
asks, hey, how's
crazy.
Prissy doing?
Well,
I guess he sensed it.
About
and
that.
They say, not too bad. To which he responds, I bet she's learning a lot. Ah, yeesh, Dad, read
yeah,
the room.
Dad, come on. And one of the girls who's talking to goes, yeah.
Yeah, we get a side-eye moment of just like, oh, sorry, Dad.
So then they hang up, and then here's the other thing. They always call him Daddy, which I don't like a 17-year-old girl calling her father Daddy.
I've known
So we
some
went through
people.
an
It doesn't
entire-
necessarily mean anything's weird. It's just,
But we went through that entire episode
Yeah.
about moving target.
yeah.
So then they decide to see, okay, this is when they hang up, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're like, so, I mean, are we still going on our trip or stuff? Because this, oof. And then Prissy comes out of the bathroom. She goes, look, I'm not going to let a couple junkies that humped a sleeping bag ruin my trip.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They're stronger than I.
Yeah.
Because
I
if
would have
was-
turned around.
If I was on this trip and someone humped my sleeping bag,
Yeah.
I'm going home.
Like, there was a time when I was
I'd have
in-
gone home after the highway patrolman.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no, that was the time to go home.
We need to
You
lay
know?
low.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's not dead.
Although, you know what? I'll tell you this, Bobby. One day, I was in North Hollywood. This was a couple years ago. And a homeless man threw a brick at my car, and it hit about 2 inches below the window. And if it hit the window, it would have killed Molly.
Yikes.
Man threw a brick right at our car window.
Oh, man.
Hit so hard that it dented the shit out of the door, and I had to get it repaired and everything, right? So after that, I'm a little shaken up, and I'm like, fuck, man. You know, this really ruined the day. And then we looked at each other and said, you know what? No. We're not going to let that brick ruin our day, right? We're not going to let the fact that Molly was 2 inches from death ruin our day, and we ended up having a great day.
You're like, damn it. We set out to go to Arby's. We're going to Arby's.
That's right, and we are an Arby's family. Okay?
Hey,
we enjoy ourselves some roast beef.
You know what? Beef and cheddars, 3 for $5.
That's right. You know?
Brings couples together, makes bonds stronger.
Yeah, we went down to Hollywood Boulevard like the rest of the tourists, had a great time. You know? But all I'm saying is...
Man, that's crazy though, man.
Don't let that guy in heroin ruin your day, all right?
Yeah.
Then the terrorists win.
It's true.
Cruising.
These colors don't lie.
So then Prissy says, you know what? Why don't you guys take a shower? Thank God we cut. We don't need to see everybody take a shower. And I'll go get us something to eat.
Fair enough.
Walk outside. Holy shit, the fucking people are here.
Damn it. What are the chances?
She walks outside. The bikers are there. We watch a sex scene with the drug people.
Yeah, he's licking coke off of Sheila's naked body. I don't need this.
We don't need this. Again, I don't want to be
I'm not
titillated
by this.
by a rapist.
Yeah. Fuck this guy. I don't want to watch this.
Again, that's what the director's telling you. He's like, yeah, you don't want to watch this, do you? Huh?
No,
huh?
I don't.
How about I put the sex scenes after the assault? Huh? How about that? Huh? You like that now?
Man.
Huh? And you're like, I don't want to see a naked body for days.
I'm done with nudity for a little while.
Yeah.
I've soured on it.
I could take a little break. Oh, okay. I got to force watch it now. I got to watch a woman snort coke off her own naked body. All right. Well, that's what we're doing now.
Little peek behind the scenes. After watching this, I put on Thriller: A Cruel Picture.
Oh, boy.
AKA They Call Her One Eye.
Jesus, what a night.
It was a rough time. I'd never seen it before. I was having my first watch of this famous Grindhouse movie.
I want to lift my spirits now.
Yeah. Oh, man, do I feel good right now. Everything is going real well in the Trippett house.
Okay, so then we cut to later, and one of the girls is pretending to be a maid at their room.
She knocks on the door and says that she's here with the ice bucket. And they're
Yeah.
like, we didn't order an ice bucket. We don't need an ice bucket.
But, you know, they're riding the H train. They don't know what the fuck's going on,
Like,
so they open the door.
Maybe we did order an ice bucket.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And then they kill these people.
Yeah, we get another thorough ass kicking from these survivalist girls.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's just an ass kicking, because what I see is that they break like a 40 over a man's head, not like a regular beer bottle, like that big ass.
They get like the King Cobra.
Yeah, like a King Cobra over this junkie's head,
And we just bottle him. He just gets smashed out, and he's not moving.
Mm-hmm. And then I think it's Prissy who is curb stomping the woman.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not joking.
Sheila tries to run, and she gets a bottle over the head before he does.
Yeah, and then she curb stomps her, and then they run over her dead fucking corpse as they take the bikes off. Cruising,
the music comes in.
And you know what? Look, everything's fine in the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And at this point, we're rocking ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
We hear the music, and we're just like, we're fine.
We're good.
We're good.
We're good.
We're cruising down the road.
Like, look, it's fine. Don't look back. That's
all we need.
Fuck them. They were on drugs. That's their bad.
Everything
you
was
know?
beautiful and nothing
Right?
hurt.
They're just fucking junkies.
You know, we're just cruising down the road, man. We got our bikes all barred together.
We're good, dude.
We're fine.
You know what? Hey, this movie is brought to you by KOA Campgrounds. KOA, you can find a great KOA campground in almost every state in the country. KOA Campgrounds. Great place to go after you've been assaulted and then murder people. So this KOA campground, this specific one, is right outside of Vegas.
By the way, we get a sign, that we're in Nevada.
Yeah.
I'm like, we were just in Arizona. You left from Colorado. Where the fuck are you going?
They went
Colorado
through this part
down
of Utah
to Arizona.
Like you go through Arizona just a teeny bit. You just do the tip of Arizona because this is the exact drive I took.
This is an actual
yes,
road.
I've been through it, Bobby. Look, this is why I've seen things.
You've been a young cycle girl.
Yes, I have. Look, I know.
Resident cycle vixen, Mike Wood.
I've seen that water park. You know, I've seen the things. Yeah, you drive through just the little tip of Arizona. You give it a little kiss.
We guarantee here on
the
the
old
Grindbin.
In and Out. You know, a little quickie through Arizona.
Just to get a toe in the water.
Yeah, and then you go into Vegas, and then right outside of Vegas, you get this KOA campground. This movie's brought to you by KOA. This episode's brought to you by KOA campgrounds. You know, they're a great place to go. If you can't get into the national park, just stay at the KOA. They got pinball, video games, pool tables, all sorts of shit.
Sounds
You know.
great.
So what are we gonna do with 10 minutes left in this movie? Fuck it, let's play some pinball.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, am I right?
I'm never against this.
Fucking yeah.
Much like the pinball machine on the porch in, was that White Lightning?
Oh, yeah. White Lightning with the pinball. Yes. Love it.
yeah.
You know, speaking of pinball, over the weekend, I was going to tell you and Tanner this. Again, in the wonderful city of Pasadena. Went there, had a nice evening with the wife. You know, we're out eating at a Himalayan restaurant. Never had Himalayan food. You know,
How is it?
it's Indian food, but waterier.
From all the melted snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes sense.
So then we walk down the street. Get this, $10, all you can play arcade.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, right in the middle. I'm going in there. Pinball machines.
Is that the Neon Arcade?
I don't know the name of it.
It's
I
in
just walked
Pasadena.
past. Like, this is great. It's right in the middle of downtown. I think it's relatively new. You got yourself the Pinbot, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
And you got yourself that WWF game. You know, the old arcade one? Yeah, right? You got Metal Slug.
There's a barcade near where we record here that has pinball and the WWF game.
Oh, wow. Well,
One of these nights after recording, we should swing
yeah,
in there.
we might have to do that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
This one wasn't a barcade, but $10. It was like $10, and you can play all the games you want, and there were all these old games.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good time. So, again,
Brought to you by.
I felt like everything was coming together in my mind. I'm like, I've
Things are okay.
driven down this road.
You cruised down that road.
I was just playing pinball. My God.
Are you in this?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like Polybius. Like, I'm starting to go crazy.
Man.
Things are starting to break
By
down.
the end of this episode, we're going to discover how Mike factors into this movie. Where did Mike Wood roll in?
So here's where our new character comes in for the last 10 minutes of this movie. His
this-
name is Randy.
The Newsie?
And I'm sure, yeah, the Newsie. And I'm sure you get this too, Bobby. I think his name's Randy, but I think he eventually changed his name
Yeah.
to another name.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get to it.
It's no mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Are you
I
into
think
studs?
We're on the same page about where this figures in.
Oh.
So we're going to
Oh, yeah.
have one at the end of
Oh,
this
yeah.
episode.
And by the way-
and it's a shared one.
By the way, see, all the pieces are coming together. Where does Bobby go? Pinball,
Yes, he does.
right?
It all ties together.
And where does he start his journey? At a pinball machine. Saying, are you into studs? Now, these girls are playing pinball. What's he do? He comes on over. He says,
And this Newsie here is in the background while they're playing on one machine, playing the other machine.
yeah.
And Randy, the Randy Man, Macho Savage, is he seems to be playing the game with his dick.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's how he plays.
He's just slamming against this thing with his crotch.
yeah.
Like, he's got to have bruises at this point.
Well, as you learn, he's not getting much action. You know,
No, he's not.
he's got to get it somehow. And we're talking the 70s. You know, it's not as easy to get porn. You know, you can't just flip on your phone. You know,
True.
Sometimes you
just
gotta
gotta watch
yeah.
a silver ball bounce off some bumpers and see if that
Sometimes-
gets some blood flowing.
Some days the bride of Pinbot's looking pretty nice.
You know?
And so he goes, "Hey girls, are you into studs? Do you know how to play pinball?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're playing pinball right now." And he goes, "Let me show you."
No, we're okay. But then he shoves them out of the way, and we get a montage. Because while he's doing his thing, he's doing his dance, and we get an ass and camel toe montage.
Of a man humping a pinball machine. Now, here's what I thought. I thought there was going to be like a Miss 45 moment when Prissy just freaks out, like, seeing this man, like, dry hump a pinball machine and be like, whoa, like, no. Yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah, and so he's doing his thing, and he's getting the high score, but the girls, they're going to put one over on him, and so they start bumping the sides of the table with their hips.
Yeah.
And causes the machine to tilt out on him.
And so then he says, "Hey, do you want to go hang out with some strangers and get a free meal?" And they're like, "No." And he goes, "No, serious, they're my friends."
And they try to kiss him off by saying, "Good luck with your balls, Randy," which is a good line.
And he's like, "No, seriously, it's all good. It's all good." And they're like, "I guess we can trust this guy, right? He just looks like a loser."
And they say, "What do you think, Priss?" And she's like, "I think he's straight." Why?
"Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, no, stop it, Priss.
This guy's done everything short of pulling his dick out in front of you so far. He's been
Yes.
really aggressive here.
If he pulls out heroin, you need to leave. Like, please."
But she's like, "I see no reason why we shouldn't trust this guy, considering everything we've already been through in this movie."
"Yep." Yeah, if
Every
anything,
man we've encountered has
Yeah.
tried to fuck us against our will. I see no reason not to believe this guy with the visible erection.
yeah, he seems fine.
I like this guy. He's straightforward.
So then we go to a party. Now I love this. They're at the party, right?
Hold on. How do we
Oh.
get to the party? By cruising.
Oh, that's right. How could I forget? Come on.
It's number 6.
This movie's almost over. We're gonna get 3 more times.
We get 3 more. We've got like 8 minutes left in the movie. We're gonna get it 3 more times.
So that, and we should say there's like instrumental versions of the song.
Oh, I'm
Which-
only counting the time when the singer comes in.
No, but if you count the
But he's not
instrumentals,
singing. We're picking and agreeing the
no,
whole
we're
time.
talking at least 30 times.
Like that
at
banjo player is gonna pass out.
So then the party, some
This
beer,
is
food,
an
good times.
embarrassing white people dance party.
Okay.
This is worse than Miss 45 in terms of dancing ability.
Yeah. Did you even notice, though, by the way, how lame this party starts? Is that a man opens a beer and starts sharing it like a joint. People are like, let me have a sip of that beer. I'm like, no, you got to buy a bunch of the beer. You don't just share one can. You can't get, like, it's not like a joint. You can't get high off like 1 or 2 puffs. With the beer, you can't get drunk off a sip.
It's like when you're a younger man and you're tailgating outside of a concert with whatever you were able to sneak in.
Yeah.
My personal favorite from memory is when I drank a slightly warmer than room temperature banana beer that I was drinking out of a Starbucks cup so no one would catch me.
God
And I'm
damn.
sipping it through the lid of a Starbucks cup like I'm drinking a hot chocolate. So this tiny little hole where I'm drinking warm banana flavored beer. And then I moseyed on into the Ramstein show. Got in the pit.
And you're like,
full of warm banana beer.
Oh.
By the way, speaking of which, I got dry humped in that show.
Oh, there you go.
Because the guy who was doing cartwheels in the parking lot with his penis out and standing on top of a van pissing in public suddenly appeared behind me and was just like, because we're in the pit.
Oh,
so they're just
boy.
like, yeah, you're learning how to love again.
And he goes, didn't I see you on a water slide one day, son?
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, you again?
Yeah. See, now you're starting to get it. Bobby, one time I went to that Ted Nugent concert and I got assaulted by somebody at a
By
Ted
Ted
Nugent
Nugent?
concert, remember? Yeah. Ted Nugent grabbed my ass.
I knew it.
No, I've told it on the podcast, I'm sure I have, when that woman grabbed my ass and I turned around and she scorched me. She did the scorchy. She went, and I was like forever scarred. I feel like I'll see her again one day.
It was pretty cool to meet Connie Stevens, though.
It was, So, yeah, they're all sharing one can of beer, which I was like, huh.
They got one natty iced for the whole group.
Like, come on, don't take too much. You're
He
hogging
found
that-
this beer. He couldn't believe it hadn't been opened yet,
You're bogarting that natty,
which we never do here on the Grindbin. That natty's for the world.
Oh, yeah.
we got
do,
a guy-
though, funny fact, we do all share one natty ice for every Grindbin episode. We all just
It's
take
true.
a little sip off it.
Pass it around.
Yep.
It almost makes it through the episode. It's nice and warm.
Man takes forever to take his sip.
He does. He likes to hold it. That's
Yeah.
why it gets so warm.
Yeah, it gets warm in his hands.
Puts it between his knees.
But like we said earlier in the movie, more beer turns us on.
Always
So
been
Randy comes up with the girls, right?
true. We introduced him to our group leader of this, which is some dude dressed like Tommy Chong.
and here's where you think,
Hey, man.
uh-oh, something's going to go wrong. Like, there's all these guys and these girls, and the girls are like,
You're feeling it too. Like it's checking all the boxes.
'Cause
You're feeling a warning.
the other girls at the party go, the fuck do you bring other girls to this party?
And at
Randy's
this point,
like, because Randy comes up, they're like, did you bring some food this time? He's like, no, man, I brought something better. I brought 3 girls.
and now here's where my ears perked up because we've watched 2000 Maniacs.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, we're having a big celebration.
Oh, no.
And they said, did you bring food? He said, better than that, I brought these women. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my
no.
God. We're going to suddenly take a left turn on cannibalism.
Cruising.
Cruising into the pot.
Oh, my God. So then they get all pissed off.
We're
You know
doing
what?
this whole, like dogs. We're doing that low angle POV. We're just getting them butts at every shot.
Hold up.
Okay.
Because, Bobby, you've missed about 2 minutes of pinball puns.
Oh, excuse
the
me. I'm sorry.
screenwriter worked hard for this.
I don't mean
okay?
I don't mean to wreck that.
When he comes up and he's like, I brought the other women with me, they're all pissed and they're like, forget it. What were you doing, playing pinball again? And they go, what'd you tilt out? I'm like, well, that's not really a pun.
I mean, it is a pinball term, but why?
Yeah, and then they go, it takes balls to play pinball.
Uh-huh. Maybe you're hoping someone will pull on your plunger?
Yep. You know what? That's the thing, Bobby. I wrote, no plunger reference, huh?
Come on, guys. It's right there.
The last one, I know. That's why I wrote it in the notes.
Maybe you're hoping you'll get to Flipper?
Yeah. Oh, God damn it. Like, you're on a roll now. Type 5 on. Type 5 on pinball jokes. Here we go.
Oh, I can do it, dude. I can do it. Just
No,
turn
the
me
last
loose.
one they said
you can see
is-
me at the Crossroads coffee shop this weekend, workshopping my pinball-related sex material.
At the local barcade. doing
At
their-
the barcade, yeah.
No, the last one they used, at least I know how to score it. I'm like, that's not even a pun. Like, it's not. God. So then we have 8 minutes left in this movie, and we watch a dance sequence.
Yeah,
like
we're
dogs,
all
like you're saying.
Low angle.
Yeah.
We're just watching from the waist down. Everyone's kind of trying to dance. No
It's
one's
like
any good at it.
like some sort of upskirt view, but without skirts.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody wearing jeans.
It's
very awkward. It's like-
sudden cuts to people's asses.
Huh.
And people keep getting beer out of the van. That's where they're keeping it. There's a little cooler. And every time they open the van, there's a couple fucking behind the cooler.
Okay.
And everyone's like, they keep doing the same joke. Where I was like, are they in there? Well, they're always in there.
When they first opened that door, did you think it was the heroin couple? Because I did. I was like,
For a second,
oh
yeah.
fuck! Like
That
I
would be a
thought
hell of
that's
a
where this
reveal.
movie was going. I'm like, no, because I thought it was going to be them, and they just look up from the middle of a funk session, and they're like, oh, and then
As you can see, our wounds have healed.
all of a sudden they're like, we want you to tell us if Teeter and Rock's going to fall.
Oh, man.
Get in this barrel.
South's going to rise again.
So then we watch the dance sequence. I write minutes left in the movie. Theme song. Cruising. We're at 7, right?
It is number 7.
Then all of a sudden-
And one of our girls decides that she's going to throw this boy a bone.
Yeah. And then here's the thing, Bobby. Where do they go?
To a van.
And what's inside that van? Shag carpeting.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's right there. We don't have to guess.
And
it's
I write,
telling us.
Mike, you fucking brilliant bastard, you.
Beautiful son of a bitch.
You're trying to show us something. You're beautiful minding the shit out of this. Like, we get it now. We get it.
Yeah.
All this time we've been looking at the van. We never knew, like, where the real spiritual successor was.
We found it.
Yeah. Cycle
right
Girls
here.
is here, man. He's trying to tell us. Bobby's been here all along. He's just waiting in an obscure movie you've never heard of. He's ready. He's ready to break out, He's going to take off that newsy hat. What do you think's underneath that?
And on the 7th cruise down the road, Bobby revealed.
Oh, my God. So she diversionizes him.
And and he's very awkward about it because he doesn't know what's going on. And it's weird because
We should be clear.
behavior-
She's not a virgin. This character
No.
said like she's had sex with a ton of guys.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
she's giving this kid she's helping him out.
like you said, she's giving him a bone.
Yeah, and she's guiding him through everything, and he's like, I've never. She's like, I know, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's not gonna hurt. You're gonna be fine, and they're gonna take care of things. And he doesn't deserve this.
Nope.
The
Cut.
behavior he was showing at the pinball game.
Yep.
Like, dude, this guy's a creep.
Bobby, it's called fetishes.
I guess so.
She really likes it when a man humps a hot piece of iron, or like a hot piece of steel.
true.
Like
Really gotta
nothing
get-
better.
She saw him working that coin slot
Again,
and knew.
She's into motorcycles. She saw the pinball machine.
And she's like, no, there's the stud I've been looking for.
That's right.
It's a stud I can get into.
Yeah, you into studs. So then we cut in the middle of him going like, no. Cut. Cruising.
And we have, we're all sitting around, and we have one of the characters say, I don't ever want to end up like that waitress. All
Yeah,
back
now
to that
they're
burger
like at a campfire.
Yeah, we're all hanging
because
out.
it takes them fucking 10 days to get to California. They're right there, by the way. They were they were in Vegas. Now
They're
it's
so
3
close.
hours. Come on.
I don't know why this had to take a week.
So then they talk.
We also get sudden harmonica.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they've
What?
become hobos. Like, they are now riding the
We're
rails.
sharing a can of beans.
Yes.
We're playing the harmonica.
They're camping.
We're packing the bindle and telling stories about how it used to be.
And they're like, look, guys, we just got to get to that beach. I never want to end up like that waitress in the Oasis that doesn't exist.
So let's head to that beach. Hit the music for an 8th time.
Yep, here we go. Cruising.
God damn it.
They've made it, Bobby. We're at the beach.
Oh man, it's glorious. We get off our bikes. We're looking at the ocean. It's like the end of the Warriors. Like we're at the beach finally. Everything's
That's right.
good. We might as well have In the City start playing. The wind is blowing through their hair.
They take the helmets off, shaking their head.
Oh.
It's like a freaking Herbal Essence commercial at this point.
Did it, baby. We've been
Yeah.
through some shit. But finally, we've made it to BLAM! And I don't know about you, but I shook.
I leaped out
Like,
of my
I
chair,
jolted.
my mouth agape and just went, the fuck?
Oh my
What the
fucking
fuck?
God. And Mike, what is it? What happened?
They got shotgunned in the face.
They get fucking gunned down by creepy Jughead from the beginning of the
Yes,
movie, who was watching them in the bathroom.
The pervert guy who was trying to scan them.
I guess he's been following them this entire movie.
Yes. Shotguns the shit out of them.
So much has happened in this film that we forgot about this guy entirely.
Yeah.
And there's no indication that he's following them or that he's going to come back.
Nope.
Because nothing else came
And you know
back
what's
around.
The scariest thing? We didn't even see his face. We just see the hands on a gun as it shoots these girls.
And we only know
each
it's
in the
him because
face.
we see the truck door again.
Yes, and we see them with the blood on their face
Oh,
as they get
destroyed. It's
He
horrifying.
mutilates these girls and kills them.
These teenage girls who've been on this adventure to go see the beach just one time
Yeah.
because of their quiet
You want to
life.
go on a little trip with your girlfriends, huh? You want to go to the beach? How
You know,
about you get shotgunned in the fucking face,
Belle
huh?
finally leaves that
Maybe-
little village.
Yeah.
Only instead of meeting the beast, she meets the barrel. Oh my God.
Or she meets the beast and he rips her apart.
Yeah. And
Like
just,
the beast he is.
and just dumps her bones back in front
Yeah.
of her dad's place.
And they go, see, that's why we told you not to go up to that fucking castle.
That'd be a fucking life lesson
right?
for you.
That's probably how the grim version.
Like, that's the message of this story, I guess, is don't want more.
Yeah, no, this is like, oh, you want to go out with your friends
Stay
on
in
a
your
nice little
hometown.
weekend? Yeah, maybe you shouldn't leave. Maybe when I say you're grounded, you fucking listen to me. All right?
Turns out that controlling, weird, abusive dad was right all along.
Yep. So here's the thing. We then fade out to the beach and them as ghosts
Yeah, it's like
swimming in the ocean.
we get to see what was supposed to be.
Yeah. Or
And
like I
where-
like to imagine like the ghost form of them, the celestial form.
They may have died, but they're force ghosts. Got
They'll
to
al-
frolic in
yeah,
the water.
They'll always be at the beach now with the song plays one last time. But
And
Bobby,
when we get a slow, sad version of
it's almost like the demon cop when he sings that song at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
The Hazy Life.
Yes.
The
I
Crazy
was
Life?
like getting back to the same type of like,
And now,
oh my God.
yeah, it's like this is the Johnny Cash cover of Cruising Down the Road. It's just we're doing the saddest version you could think of.
yeah. So, and I was like, got really sad because I'm like, this should have been the last episode of the Grindbin. Like,
Oh, yeah.
This should have been it because now we've come full circle. Like, at the end of this, I was like, I don't have anywhere left to go.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen it all, man.
This movie
like, I
kicked
get
us
it.
right in the pinballs and just says like, yeah, life's tough. Fuck you. Credits.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh my God.
And this is when I write at the end of my notes, just these are my immediate thoughts after seeing the end of this movie. As I write, there are two types of people in this world, those who have seen Cycle Vixens and those who haven't. Once you've seen it, you can never go back. Cruising down the road, my friends. This is like the tape from The Ring. I imagine I'll be smiling one day as I get good news and be shotgunned in the face by that woman who grabbed my ass at a Ted Nugent concert years ago. We all have to die someday.
Whew. Thank you for sharing that, Mike.
I went to bed.
Yeah, we all did. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Shit's the world's too heavy right now, Mike.
no. I was like,
This
here we
movie-
are.
This movie hurt us.
I'm gonna watch just a happy movie about girls, going. We're all
And
so much fighting in the world and
And the last couple
Anger.
movies that we've covered lately, we're like, we covered Ms. 45, we covered some hard stuff. I was like, I'm as excited to get into this. I was like, oh yeah, just some teen girls on a
Yeah,
road trip. This is
yeah.
gonna be good. We haven't done one of these in a while. We're gonna get a feel good. Mike, this is Bobby here. Patron Mike. What are you doing, man? Why'd you do this to us?
I get it now, Mike. I get it. You wanted us to see, and we understand. I think Bobby gets it
We weren't seeing
now.
the world clearly.
I think you get it.
Well, because to your point, Mike, I will add on that there are 2 points in a person's life. It's before they saw young cycle girls, and after young cycle girls woke them up.
Yep.
I feel like before we watched this, we were young cycle girls, and now we're cycle vixens.
That's right. That's right. You're dead on. They re-edited it. They called it Cycle Vixens. You've now graduated. Like, you're here, man. You get it.
You can't cruise back down that road.
Absolutely not.
You can only go forward.
So
Now go ahead.
recommendation?
Honestly, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, I say yes, but
This is
just be warned. You can't go back. You cannot go back.
This is one of those
Listeners,
curiosities, man. This is one of those there's not much like this.
There's nothing like this. Nothing.
We haven't covered it, but I mentioned the Pink Angels has a really harsh ending too that you don't see coming, but this one hit me even harder.
Oh yeah, I've never seen anything like this in my life. There was nothing that prepared me for that last scene.
Like, it's the kind of... I felt like I actually witnessed it. You know, like I was there on that
Yes.
beach going, what? Why? What? No.
I know. It was like, this
there's
is
no
so
justice
unfair.
in this world.
Yes,
Why?
no. I did, Bobby. I wrote in my notes, what is wrong with the world?
Yeah.
Like,
I
multiple
legitimately,
times.
from my couch, went, no. I blurted that out. Just automatically went, no. Like, that's not some... No. They don't deserve that. They're just children.
I messed up. I showed the tape to my wife.
Oh, no.
I had it, like, Molly was sitting near me. I was watching this on the computer with headphones on, which is even worse. As I jumped out of my seat, she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, you just have to see it. I can't explain it. And I made her watch it, and she's like, what's going on? They're just at the beach. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. I am glad I didn't watch this with my wife in the room. I'd still be consoling her now.
You can't go back. You can't go back.
So we've already heard that sound. We know
how it works.
We know it. We don't have to even touch that.
Yeah.
We know Bobby made it out safe and sound. In fact, things went well for him, but not so much for our young cycle girls.
No.
Let that be a lesson to you, kids.
Man, the world is cruel.
It is.
It's a harsh place, and we think here at the Grindbin we're immune to this type of things. You know, this is where we sit down and just have a good time. And
We're not even safe in the bin.
no,
Turns out the straight arrow's not bulletproof.
no, goddamn,
Man.
But you know what
Thank
the
you
nice
for teaching
thing
us
is?
a valuable lesson, Mike.
You know what the nice thing though is that Bobby carries on their legacy. As Randy becomes Bobby, life begins anew. You know.
And I feel, you know what? Let's get real heavy. Let's get real deep. By sleeping with him, by ushering him into manhood, she passed on all of their power, everything that they had into him.
Oh my God!
And that's how he was able to transition to becoming Bobby.
So like
The
instead of
van got better, the boy got better.
instead of like in It Follows where you have the sex and you get the thing that chases you. No, it's inside you.
The young cycle girls died so Bobby could live. Thank you for joining us.
On another episode of the Grindbin. You can catch us on grindhousefilm.com. We're Twitter at GrindPod. We're on Instagram, Facebook as well. Bobby, you got anything to promote?
I got nothing.
Nope, we never have anything to promote. Oh, the Patreon. You can join that and hear our episodes for $2 a month. You can hear all our great stuff we got on there.
You know, it's funny. The other people who typically host the Grindbin with us, they've always got things going on. You and I are the two steady ones who only have this.
Yeah, we got the Grindbin.
We're the guys sitting around watching movies.
Yeah.
Everyone else is doing things with their lives.
Well, actually, thank you for all the people that donated to our Indiegogo campaign.
Absolutely. The turnout for that was fantastic.
Yes, you guys really got it done, man. We only wanted like $1,000 and went way over $1,000. So thank you so much. And we're shooting it really soon.
Yeah.
So
And the outpouring of love from the Grindbin extended family has been awesome.
I can't even believe it. So you're making our dreams come true. At least my dream. So
Sincerely, thank you so much.
Yes, thank
everyone
you.
who's
Thank you so
contributed,
much.
everyone who's just had a kind word about it. It's awesome. We give it right back to you.
So thank you, and thank you, Mike, for opening our eyes.
Absolutely.
I feel like things will be different now.
We can't go back. He's changed us forever. Bobby, hold me.
got no real rhythm.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny.
And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get green.